You know how when we were young, people would ask a lot of times, "Hey, kid, what do you want to be when you grow up?" We would say things like, "I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a professional athlete. I want to be the president." We had all these grand things that we wanted to be. I'm willing to wager that none of us said, "I want to be a laborer in a field. I want to be a servant." Well, while that may not have been our dream when we were a kid, what we see in Matthew chapter 20 is that that's the call that God has placed on our lives. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of In the Word with Brother Charlie. We are in Matthew chapter 20, and thank you so much for joining us on this journey as we study through Scripture together, reading a chapter at a time. And we get into Matthew chapter 20, and one of the things about Matthew chapter 20 that I want you to understand is the background of what's going on. You see, it's not just another day. It's not just a regular time. Jesus is on his way to Jerusalem. What they didn't understand, but Jesus clearly did, is he's on his way to the cross. So when we look at Matthew chapter 20 in context of what is happening and where Jesus is going, it should cause us to pause a little bit and to do some self-reflection and some self-examination. Jesus is calling for laborers in the field. There are so many people that need to know Jesus, that need salvation, that need a clear direction, that need truth. And they need for us to go live the word and preach the word, proclaim the word for them. But not only does that happen, but what else we see in Matthew chapter 20 is, well, some preferred treatment is requested. And what we know is that everybody in the world wants to be served. Everybody in the world wants to be on top. Everybody wants to be the best and to be the greatest. But Jesus reminds us that in his kingdom, it's different. Those of us that serve, that pour out into others, those are the ones that receive the greatest reward. The ones that sacrifice and serve, not the ones that desire fame and popularity. They'll get their reward. But the ones that desire to give. And so while, yes, when we were young, we may have wanted greatness, what Jesus views greatness as is those that sacrifice themselves for the kingdom, for others. And I love, as Matthew chapter 20 is wrapped up, Jesus again on his way to Jerusalem. Two blind men, as he's leaving Jericho, begin to cry out to him. The crowd's telling him to hush, leave Jesus alone. Jesus stops and he says, "What do you want from me?" And these two blind men tell Jesus, "We want for our eyes to be opened." That should be our prayer as well. Jesus, open our eyes. Open our eyes to what you have called us to. Open our eyes to the fields that are white and ripe for the harvest. Jesus, open our eyes to the need of the world for you. And then, Jesus, open our eyes so that we may be humble in serving you. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. As we continue tomorrow, Jesus enters into Jerusalem, and we're on the road to the cross in the Gospel of Matthew. Have a blessed day.